Welcome to the YouTube channel The Right Place, where today we're diving into a cozy and earthy world of rustic garden decor using dry branches, simple twigs, and pine cones. In this video narration, I will guide you through 10 wonderfully easy and creative ways to transform natural materials into charming visual touches for your garden. These methods don't require expensive tools or advanced crafting skills, just creativity and the willingness to appreciate natural textures and forms. Let's ground ourselves in simple beauty and start imagining your garden as a rustic retreat full of warmth, personality, and story. One, Twigs as charming garden borders. First, twigs can be used to create natural, low garden borders that subtly define your planting areas while blending perfectly with the surrounding greenery. By collecting similar length twigs and gently pressing them into the soil, you can form a small fence look that acts as both edging and visual interest. This technique works especially well around herb gardens, flower beds, and pathways, providing a sense of organization without losing that organic, rustic character. The beauty lies in the imperfections, the slight height variations and textures of each twig. Another benefit of these twig borders is how eco-friendly and long-lasting they are when handled correctly. You can add a natural protective finish like linseed oil to help them withstand moisture and weather changes. Over time, they will naturally age and change tone, deepening into a soft gray or warm brown, adding more charm as they mature. The result is a garden that feels both intentionally designed and wonderfully wild at the same time. 2. Dry branch garden sculptures. Dry branches can be transformed into small sculptures or artistic arrangements that serve as focal points in your garden. Standing them upright, stacking them, or tying them together with jute rope creates installations that express creativity in natural form. These sculptures can mimic minimalist stick towers, abstract shapes, or even represent symbolic elements like a rustic arch or a mini obelisk. When placed strategically, they draw the eye and invite moments of quiet admiration. The best part is that dry branches already carry expressive lines, interesting angles, and organic visual movement. You don't need to carve or reshape them. Simply arrange them to accentuate those natural qualities. Over time, moss or lichen may begin to grow on them, enhancing their aged aesthetic and blending them even more deeply into the garden ecosystem. These sculptures don't just decorate, they tell a visual story of nature and time. 3. Pine cone path accents. Pine cones are an underrated and delightful material for adding surprising charm to garden pathways. You can arrange pine cones along the edges of your walkway or embed them within gravel or mulch to create pops of texture. Their geometric shapes contrast beautifully with softer soil or stone surfaces, making them both decorative and grounding. They're especially eye-catching when sunlight filters through the trees and casts shadows over them. Pine cones also evoke a cottage-like, woodland feeling that pairs perfectly with rustic and old-world garden styles. You can choose to keep them in their natural form or coat them with a protective natural oil to enhance their color. With minimal effort, they create a cohesive visual rhythm that guides visitors through the garden space. This tiny detail can transform a simple path into a memorable journey. For twig trellises for climbing plants. Twigs and branches can be tied together to form natural trellises that support climbing plants such as beans, ivy, jasmine, or morning glories. By assembling them in simple A-frame or lattice shapes, you can provide your plants with a rustic and functional framework. Unlike metal or plastic trellises, twig structures integrate visually with the greenery and feel like a true extension of the garden. This gentle harmony enhances the organic spirit of the space. Over time, as climbing plants mature, they will weave themselves around the twig supports, eventually covering them in leaves and blossoms. The trellis disappears beneath growth, yet continues quietly supporting the structure from within. This partnership between natural wood and living plants celebrates nature's collaboration with garden design. It's both practical and poetic, just the kind of effect that makes visitors smile and marvel at the charm of your garden. Rustic bird perches and feeders. Dry branches can be turned into welcoming perches or natural feeders for garden birds. Simply mounting a branch on a stand or attaching small platforms to hold seeds can bring feathered visitors closer to your outdoor space. When birds gather, your garden becomes more lively, charming, and connected to wildlife. These perches also form part of the visual scenery even when birds aren't present. Adding bird feeders made from twigs and pine cones coated with natural nut butter and seeds is a rewarding way to attract winged guests. Watching birds interact with these handcrafted feeding stations creates a daily display of natural beauty. It's a wonderfully reciprocal arrangement. You provide a homey resting area, and birds reward you with cheerful presence and song. This strengthens the emotional connection between your crafted environment and the living creatures who share it. 6. Pine cone floral alternatives. Pine cones can imitate flowers when arranged thoughtfully inside planters or decorative bowls placed in the garden. Their layered structure resembles petals, especially when clustered to form a dome or circular arrangement. This method can fill gaps where seasonal plants may not be blooming, ensuring visual interest year-round. You get everlasting flowers that need no water or care. You may even paint the tips of the pine cones in muted earthy tones or leave them natural for a more authentic rustic appearance. Mixed with branches and moss, they become elegant natural centerpieces for garden tables or accent corners. This approach celebrates the beauty of botanical shapes without relying solely on living blooms. It's a sustainable and artistic interpretation of floral aesthetics. 7. Twig lanterns for soft garden lighting. Twigs can be crafted into lantern-like shapes that hold candles or solar LED lights, creating a glowing atmosphere at dusk. By forming a spherical or cylindrical cage of sticks, you create an enchanting light diffuser that casts beautiful shadows. The texture of the twigs produces natural patterns that dance across garden surfaces. This lighting feels softer, more intimate, and undeniably rustic. These lanterns can hang from trees, sit atop tables, or line walkways as evening markers. Because they are made of natural materials, they blend gracefully with foliage even in daylight. At night, they transform the garden into a magical space reminiscent of woodland fairy tales. This use of simple materials elevates the entire mood without relying on plastic or manufactured decorative products. 8. Branch-framed garden signs. Branches can be cut and assembled into frames for handwritten or wood-burned garden signs. These can label plant areas, add quotes, or convey a welcoming message for guests. Such frames carry a handcrafted warmth that enhances the garden's personality. They make the garden feel curated yet cozy, touched by human care rather than commercial uniformity. Over time, you can swap out the inner signs while keeping the rustic twig frames intact. Whether you're labeling lavender bed, herb corner, or pollinator zone, the natural branch frame gives every sign a charmingly grounded identity. It's a subtle detail, but visitors will instantly feel the thoughtful craftsmanship behind it. The garden becomes not just a plant space, but a narrative environment. 9. Pine cone and twig wind chimes. Creating wind chimes from twigs and pine cones adds both visual and audible magic to your garden. When the wind gently moves them, they tap softly against one another, producing organic, earthy tones. This natural sound is calming and pleasantly understated, unlike metal chimes that produce sharp tones. It welcomes quiet moments of meditation in your outdoor sanctuary. These chimes also act as beautiful kinetic sculptures, constantly shifting in subtle motion. You can hang them from pergolas, branches, or porch edges where passing breezes can breathe life into them. They're simple to make, cost nothing if sourced from nature, and carry immense sensory value. The garden becomes not just something to see, but something to feel and hear. Ten. Branch garden furniture accents. Thicker branches can be repurposed into rustic stools, mini benches, or accent tables that complement the natural landscape. Even if not weight-bearing for regular sitting, they serve as charming display stands for pots or sculptures. Their irregular surfaces and organic edges make them visually intriguing artifacts. Garden furniture like this anchors the space with grounding, tactile presence. These handmade elements carry a sense of authenticity and connection to nature. Rather than placing factory-made outdoor decor, You carve personality into your garden effortlessly with materials that grew there. This gives your garden areas a whimsical dignity, quiet, humble, yet soulfully enchanting. Every visitor will sense the thoughtful spirit embedded into the surroundings. Conclusion. As we wrap up, I hope these ideas have sparked inspiration for you to turn simple natural materials into meaningful garden art. Rustic decor thrives on originality, so feel free to experiment with shapes, patterns, and placements until your garden truly reflects your signature style. Creativity grows best when nurtured with curiosity, patience, and joy. Your garden can become a haven of earthy charm and serene beauty, and it starts with just a twig or pine cone. Thank you so much for tuning in today and spending time in the right place. If you enjoyed this creative journey and want more natural design ideas, DIY garden projects, and warm-hearted inspiration, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps this community grow, and I can't wait to share more with you. Until next time, keep crafting, keep dreaming, and keep making your garden a reflection of your heart.